difference between me and them. They trying to get the ones, I'm trying to get them M's. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4. In just 5 years, 40 million more. You are now looking at the 40 million bar. I rate my tap channel, I'm the 100 million man. R-O-C. That's where you wrong. I came into
oh man, feels good to be back in here.
Yeah, almost a month.
No,
October 3rd.
you got to straighten this crap out, man.
You know what I say.
You always blame it on the white guy.
Blame the white guy.
Last night wasn't my fault.
Yeah. Last night I was in some pain, some CTE type stuff.
CTE?
Yeah, well, hopefully not. Just old war injuries. I had to get that. Had to get a massage. Still didn't work. Still in pain, but I'm gonna grind it out because this is a full contact sport. Radio.
Just go cryotherapy.
I was talking to the Colombian and said we gotta get the damn deal done, man.
I know.
So I could go get this cryotherapy, man.
I know. I agree with you. By the way, I have to now tell you early on that I'm Denny Thompson and that's James Coleman, and you're listening to Straight Talk No Chaser, brought to you by. You ready for this, James?
Yeah, who we brought to you by?
ABC Fine Wine and Spirits.
That's what I'm talking about.
And if you're not in Florida, you may be going, huh? What is ABC? ABC is a Florida-based, let's just call it a liquor store.
It's a liquor store. It's a high-end liquor store.
High-end.
Liquor store, top of the line cigars, get some pretty good snacks. You can get whatever you want to get.
No, it's everything.
80 years in existence.
80 years all over the state of Florida is that place. They have joined us to be the title sponsor of not only this, but our radio show here as well in Jacksonville, Florida. So excited to tell everybody that the podcast is growing. Please spread the word if you like it. If you don't like it, don't spread the word. Keep that to yourself.
No, spread the podcast. Tell people to listen to this podcast that sucks, but you don't have to put it on our page that we suck.
So we start every single podcast off with a man code violation.
Yeah.
Right?
And the force is strong on this one.
It is. And so we were talking before this, we do serious planning for this. Mm-hmm. It's a solid 30, 45 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
But the good thing is that
it's intense, though. It's an intense half a minute.
But we're immersed in pop culture and kind of have an idea of what's going on. I mean, we all we do is we don't really do anything.
Well, that's true.
We don't have real jobs. You train quarterbacks. I make white kids fast, and when they're all in school right now, so it ain't like I do anything during the middle of the day.
Well, that's true.
Except for today was a grind, man.
Yeah, it was fun though. So the man code violation. We started talking about this, and it's like, well, hold on. We've got the ultimate one right in front of our eyes.
Right.
The New York Giants today finally cut Josh Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Finally said, get out of here. And in my mind, there's like these man code that are like kind of jokes, right? That we do a lot of whatever it may be, little petty things, if we're being honest. Then there's a couple of them that are just
serious, like you don't do this.
And you really can't call yourself a man if you do.
Right.
I mean, really, you can't. And this is one of them. Josh Brown has admitted to physically and verbally abusing his wife for years and years and years.
And people just turned a blind eye to it. She was looking for help, and this man wrote a damn journal.
Which, by the way, not to put a joke on this, but what man writes a journal?
That's a very good point. I mean, this is like going back to. I mean, you're a little older than me, but I remember one of my cartoons that put Nickelodeon on the map was Doug. And it's like, dear
no
journal.
idea who Doug is.
No, you don't watch cartoons. Never had a childhood. But dear journal, it's me, Josh. Today I was angry. I punched my wife in the face, and then I made ice cream. Yeah. It's like, what was it? Stuff like that?
I don't know, man. I just, this whole thing. I hate it when I hear this stuff because I like to put myself in other people's shoes. Whenever I'm listening to something, I always try as hard as I can to really try to see it from their side. And whenever I think of this abuse stuff, I can't help but think of a woman in the situation she's in, where, guys, listen, she can't defend herself.
Right.
It's a form of bullying to the worst extent possible.
Because you love this person, because obviously she was married to him, and you don't really have anybody to turn to, because everybody thinks he's such a good guy. And here's the part that trips me out. And I'm putting cases on all of them, everybody in the New York Giants organization except for Ferry Boy, because he's had the smartness not to come out and say anything, and that's OBJ. But like Victor Cruz, I'm really bothered by Victor Cruz. Like to the point where I almost want to see him and assault him. And here's the reason why. Here's a guy who was so vocal about somebody who wasn't harming anybody in Colin Kaepernick. Just calls him a punk, scum of the earth. But you know what he does to Josh Brown?
No.
He defends Josh Brown.
It's indefensible.
Says, that's my teammate. I've got his back.
Your teammate.
I don't believe
Man,
that's not him.
Teammate.
That's not the person that I know. And then one of the guys, of course, it's a Cromartie. He's like, he leads Bible study.
Who does?
That's what Josh Brown was. He's like, hey, that's not the Josh Brown I know. The Josh Brown I know is, helping lead our team Bible study. I don't want to know. I'm already skeptical with some people's prayers. Like, I don't let everybody pray over my food. Like, I don't know. You've never noticed this before, but like if I know that person, you can't bless my food, bro. I don't know if that's going to get past the ceiling.
Come on.
God knows your life too, bro. Like, I'm going to take my chances with myself. But like, if Josh Brown is leading your Bible study, you might just want to consider that you didn't go to church for a year or however long he was in your Bible study. Just need to restart.
I mean, everybody knows, most of the story. He physically abused his wife over 20 times, including while she was pregnant.
And that's even. You're just
you're a punk.
You're a punk. I already have a hard time looking at kickers as men, except for a few of them that we know, like a couple of your homeboys, and one of them took a man-sized hit. That's one of your friends.
Yeah.
But when you're a kicker and you're already weird and you do stuff like this, it makes me like, if you couldn't have been my teammate. I couldn't have found this out.
No, absolutely not. I mean, the couple since filed for divorce. She's divorced him, but she even said, she's like, what was I supposed to do? I can't physically take up for myself. You know what? This is going to sound harsh. Shooting.
Yeah.
Shooting. I don't give a damn. Shooting. Mm-hmm. So that's what he deserves.
Right.
I mean, bottom line, but she said, what was I going to do? I can't physically defend myself. And at the same time, I know I'm getting a divorce. If he doesn't have a job, I don't get the spousal or child support. So I can't go public with it because then it takes away his income. And, it's just one of those things where if you put yourself, not in just her shoes, in any woman's shoes going through this, if you just put yourself in their shoes, what the hell are they supposed to do?
Right. And then what's making me even more angry is the inconsistency in this. It's been news, but it hasn't blown up. It hasn't spilled over into other news outlets. And granted, there's no video.
I disagree with that.
There's no video.
I think it has spilled in the last week.
A little bit, but it's still not like when it happened with Ray Rice and when it happened with Greg Hardy, it was on every possible. I couldn't turn the TV on, I couldn't turn Facebook on, and I see it, but I don't see it with the same consistency that I saw Ray Rice. It could be because he's a kicker. that could have a lot to do with it. I think
that's part of it, James, but I think the main part, you hit the nail on the head, is video and pictures. If you think about the Ray Rice thing, he was kind of the first one. He was kind of the pioneer that the NFL, screwed the pooch on the punishment. And it kind of died down, and then the video came out. And then it exploded.
I think the other part that people don't like to admit about the Ray Rice thing, and I'm not defending him, is the reason why the NFL maybe kind of screwed the pooch on is because the first person that came to Ray Rice's defense was his now wife, his then fiance.
Yeah,
and she said it wasn't what it was, and then the video shows that it clearly was. But
I don't put any. That doesn't do anything for me because of what I said earlier. What else is she going to do? That's I have to look at it that way. James.
I think I'm looking, and I'm also looking at it from we've seen the Ray Rice situation be 2 years old now, and Ray Rice has had zero incidents. Had zero incidents
That's
before
fair.
then, and it was not any line of. Well, she was like, he had a freaking journal And she had a consistent years of abuse. Greg Hardy, on the other hand, you throwing women on Tech 9s and AK-47s and things like that. That's a little.
And Greg Hardy's getting his now.
Yeah, yeah.
Greg Hardy answered the question for us of what everybody had with Ray Rice. Would somebody have picked Ray Rice up if he wasn't older?
Right.
Well, Greg Hardy was in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
And then, somebody picked him up. He proved to still be a turd, and now nobody will touch him.
Nobody will touch him. He has to go MMA now.
Yeah, so it's, it is what it is. But this Josh Brown, ultimate man code violation, no question about it. You're not a man at all by any stretch of the imagination.
You're a coward.
You are. You're an absolute coward. It's sickening. It really is sickening. There's very few things in this world that make me physically angry. Mm-hmm. This does.
Straight to the point, no chaser. He acting like a whole bitch out you.
Yeah.
As we say it in the South.
And I hope he gets his ass beat.
Me too.
He's every now and then, there's that dude that every now and then needs to be a punch in the mouth. This is him.
And again, this is my indictment of the New York Giants locker room. They knew it. Mm-hmm. They know it now. And they came to the defense of their teammate and not to the defense of the woman. It ain't like this was some kind of up in the air, well, he said, she said thing. My man had a documented journal. You know he's a piece of shit.
Who's the homie that hit Geno Smith in the jaw?
Oh, I forgot his name.
IK or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. They need him.
I wish he was on their team.
Like, he's in Buffalo. I don't know how far is Buffalo
Not that
from
far.
New York? Just
Can't
go
be that
ahead,
far.
Get there, punch him in the mouth.
Break his jaw,
and then keep it moving.
Yeah. Do a drive-by.
But what took him so long? Why did they need 5 days?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that quick to rush to judgment on that kind of stuff because of all the legal issues that you deal with when terminating an employee and all that kind of stuff, especially one under contract. I just don't know.
They terminate guys for less.
No, I understand, but I don't know. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. They did terminate him. He didn't play.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was on the commissioner's exempt list, which meant he was still getting paid. But that was only a week long. Mm-hmm. So I have no idea what it is. But Josh Brown, you are a Manco violation, and you are scum of the earth. And I wish you nothing but
I hope all the bad things happen to you and only you.
Yep, exactly. You know what I hope? I hope his ex-wife, goes and finds the hottest dude in New York who treats her unbelievably well and who also happens to be an MMA fighter. And they run into him in Times Square one night, and somebody's got a camera available.
I'm gonna go Mel Gibson style, or like all the other famous actors that when they get drunk, they say, "You ever notice that it's never? I hope you go get beat up or by some Canadians, or go get beat up by some midgets." They always say this. They always say, "I hope you go get ran through by a bunch of black guys." I hope she gets Luke Cage. That's what I want. Go get some coffee. And she gets that thing dark roast. Strong dark roast.
But you only want Luke Cage if he's going to run into Josh Brown.
Oh, yeah. But no, I want him to be, I want Luke Cage to come up and say, I'm giving your wife some coffee tonight. And I'm going to whoop your behind.
Yeah. Try to beat me.
Yeah, try to beat me.
Yeah.
Kick these. It's just, that's the problem. It's
not anything to laugh about, but Josh Brown's scum of the earth.
That's the problem, man, because no one good and well, he wouldn't come size up a dude.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. Hey, okay, let's move on here. We try not to, we're in Jacksonville. We try not to talk too much about Jacksonville related stuff on here, but there's one we can't avoid. If you're not in Jacksonville, you think the Jags just suck, and that's just what you think, and you're right. Mm-hmm. What you don't know is that the city buys in every year, and especially this year, bought into that these guys they had a chance to be good, and the national media did too.
Mm-hmm. Everybody did.
And they still suck. The bigger picture is what we're getting a chance to witness right now, James, here in Jacksonville, especially us in the media, is a first-class meltdown on every level of an organization. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, it's kind of cool to watch.
That's because it's like watching a NASCAR wreck.
Yeah. I mean, it's everything from listening to a coach speak and try to be positive, and everybody in the room laughing about it because he don't even believe it anymore. I don't think. To hearing people try to defend the team that are hanging on by a thread, but now it's gotten even better. Is the players have turned into just turds.
this isn't, to me, this isn't just a Jacksonville problem.
Well, it's not, but it's a great example.
It's a great example is the Jaguars. This is a professional athlete kind of spilling into college a little bit problem in general. You are an entertainer. Let's call it what it is. If I paid, like, country, let's say, was it Florida Georgia Line, one of some popular country, some random country band. If you go and their mic check sucks, or their mic suck and they're singing off key and they don't boot scoop boogie or whatever the heck it is that country people listen to, you know what, you're gonna be a little bit pissed off, right?
Sure.
You paid $50 or whatever it is to go see this concert, and they all suck.
Boogie was a long time ago.
My bad. That's just the first thing that comes to my mind.
Okay, so if I talk about a rap and I say if they don't Tootsie Roll,
exactly.
It's the same thing.
Same thing. If they're like, as one of my coaches, when I was in college, the guy came and said, "Now, when you guys are out here low riding and listening to Usher, you make sure you guys stay safe." I was like, and it was a black guy that said this, whitest black guy ever, worse than Ben Carson. But I mean, anyways, to the point, we're not going to go Seinfeld on the podcast. But if I paid money and I come to be entertained and I'm not entertained, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to want my money back, or I'm going to boo. Or if it's a concert, people throw stuff. At least at hip-hop concerts. I don't know what they do at country concerts, but at hip-hop concerts, you might get hit with a bottle. This is what's happening. When you go out and your team stinks, they're going to boo you. If you consistently do that, they're going to consistently boo you. They gave you week 1. They gave you week 2. They gave you week 3. They gave you week 4 in London. Gave you a bye week. Happy about the bye week. Gave you week 5. Week 6, they're like, game 6, they're like, come on, bro. Come on, man. And then you have the nerve to come out.
They've actually given you like 9 years.
Yeah. And then you have the nerve, and you haven't been here 9 years.
Right.
This guy's been here 2. The other guy who came out a couple weeks ago has been here 3. So you don't understand all the bad stuff.
And then Rashard Green has been here, 3?
Yeah. And here's the problem, is that some of the stuff they're saying, all you got to do is say, listen, we understand that you guys are upset with the product on the field. We're competitors. Nobody understands that more than we do. We're going to continue to work hard to give you a product. Please stay with us for the long run. Say that. It's very hard to get upset about that, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That sums up, at least you acknowledge it. But to say if you don't want to be our fan, I'd rather play in front of an empty stadium than no. And I'm not one of those people who I understand how you get paid. You get paid by the seat, but through the collective bargaining agreement with the TV money and a whole bunch of other stuff. But dadgummit, you're nobody without the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go bash them. You win.
Well, let's get people a little bit up to speed. So here's what's happened: is Jag fans who, despite what you've heard, are amazing fans.
Yes,
we do a show here. They're passionate. They believe in the product. They buy tickets. This is a huge stadium here.
It's probably too big.
Yeah, and so 67,000 come in most weeks into that stadium. They buy paraphernalia, the whole 9. Week 2, Baltimore, the Jags got booed. Right? Mm-hmm. And Telvin Smith said something then about the fans booing. Just stay at home if you're going to boo. Okay, that's the first strike.
Right.
And then this past Sunday, it happened again. The Jags put on an awful display. Right after the game, Rashard Green, receiver from Florida State, who had a terrible game, by the way. Muffed a punt, filled another one on the 1, just terrible, makes a comment, if you can't do what we do, you can't talk. Right. And you can't boo.
Which is asinine.
Which, by the way, then he took that off Twitter about 10 minutes later.
Which should be a Manco violation.
Yeah, I agree.
To me, if say what you mean and mean what you say.
Yep. And then today, maybe the worst. Because Allen Robinson, who is considered in a lot of circles a Pro Bowl receiver, has not been having a good year.
Not
at all. This is what he says. He says, when you hear the atmosphere of when we step out on the field, when we go to punt, or before halftime when Blake takes a knee, and you hear the booing, it's kind of funny to me. It's funny that we get our best home field advantage when we go to Wembley, which is in London. Okay.
You win in Wembley. You won 2 years in a row.
The fans are idiots in London. Like there's maybe 10,000 that actually know what's going on. They're just happy to see football. They haven't been ride or die with you for the past 10 years. Listen, y'all are getting it easy here in Jacksonville. Allen, If you're in New York or Philly
you
or
be getting
LA
roughed
or
up.
Chicago.
You be getting spit on when you go out with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
They be talking trash to you, telling you suck. There's guys around here actually feeling sorry for you.
Yeah,
Nobody's even blaming you.
It's a joke.
They're blaming the coach. They haven't even really came on the players yet. That's the part that that's the part that bothers me.
They certainly
the
haven't
most.
come out on Allen Robinson.
You should just shut up.
Yeah, no, absolutely should. It is so aggravating, even though we're in the media and we try to be as partial as we can. I read this, I got mad. I'm like, what are you talking about? Funny? It's funny to you? It's funny that people are spending gobs of money to come watch you suck?
But forget that. They're wasting their time.
Yeah.
They could be doing something else.
Well, a lot, but you got to think. I mean, a lot of people, they're spending
at least $200-$300 a game.
Yeah, which could be
tickets,
several
food.
days' work for them.
It just shows a complete lack. It is, again, the Jaguars are a good example, but this is something that's permeating and continue to come down. Dude, you play a game, and you get in the NFL, you get compensated pretty well. College, we're not going to go down. That's for another day. You have the benefit of playing of having a platform. People come and they pay to come see you, and what happens is people are paying to forget what they go through during the week. And let's be honest, most people's lives suck.
Yeah.
They can see mediocrity Monday through Friday.
Yep.
The last thing they want to do is take a couple $100 that they can go spend somewhere else and see mediocrity on the field and then hear you speak in such a manner.
Yeah.
It's arrogance. It's everything and if you look at my Facebook page, you listen to our podcast, I am probably the most pro athlete guy that you can find. I almost always come to the defense of the athlete, but you can't defend this. Dude, step outside of who you are and understand that there's people who yes, it's a couple $100 ain't nothing to you. But this is everything to these guys. Everything.
And they want to believe it's everything to you as well. We always get we don't come to your job and boo you. Right? That's what
But you know what
say.
though? Here's the thing with that. That's not true.
It's not true.
If they go to a barber,
yep.
If they go to our boy T-Wig, and T-Wig gives him the LeBron James fade, where which pretty much he's got no hairline. You know what he's going to do? He's going to stop supporting him. And you know what else he's going to do? He's probably going to blast him on Twitter. He's going to talk about other people.
It happens every day when you go to a restaurant.
When they go to a restaurant, bad service,
bad food.
They tweet about it.
And here's the other thing, by the way, guys, is if you're in a job where you go to work 60 days and you only do well on 40 of them. No, I'm sorry. You go to work 54 days, you only do well on 12 of them. You're fired.
Right.
So don't give me the we don't come to your job and boo you crap. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. If you want to start going by regular people's job, then you shouldn't have a job. Allen or Gus or Blake or anybody else down there, even the super talented ones, because you're losing. And losers don't get the chance to keep a job.
Or guess what? Anybody can drop a pass.
Yeah.
Anybody can drop a punt.
Yep.
Or what about the people that actually are talking about you that actually did play the game?
Yeah.
That do have an opinion. It wasn't just the fans.
And you ain't old school NFL where they were out there butting heads 6 days a week. You don't even hit during the week.
No, most teams stop hitting after training camp.
Yeah, it's just a joke. Get back to your country club. Another thing that pissed me off is while they're playing this interview, you know what you can hear in the background?
What?
Guys playing ping pong. I mean, come on. You got this. What was it? What did he spend $5 million on this locker room that looks like a spa?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to sit in that and tell me how bad it is that fans are booing you? No, bump you, man. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
It's just what you're doing is people are hanging on by a thread with your team, and you're just cutting the thread.
And what you need to do is go look at the history of NFL sports franchises, because you're about to get right into the thick of it.
Yeah.
What Cleveland fans are doing. The only reason Cleveland Brown fans are showing up is because the dang Indians and the Cavaliers gave them hope to believe that it could happen. Think about New Orleans back in the day, putting bags over there. Oakland when they sucked in L.A., or L.A. teams in general when they don't perform, and they are playing in front of empty stadiums. Nobody wants to play in front of an empty stadium.
No.
You don't.
No.
It is not good. Like, dude, being an NFL player, whether it's Jacksonville, Atlanta, New York, wherever, you get perks automatically. Actually, you get perks just because based on how you look, because you look like somebody important. But based upon how much money you make in the prestige, you get benefits. Mm-hmm. You get more benefits when you win. You have to learn how to take the good and the bad. It's called being an adult.
Yep.
It actually what it's called is being a true pro. I'm not one of those people that go around saying act like you've been there before. That all that other BS. That's part of being a professional because they haven't been there before. I made a joke with somebody when I scored a touchdown. I wish I could score more touchdowns again I would celebrate like it was my last because I ain't scored a touchdown since 2005.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never know when you're going to get back. But what I am a pro about, what I believe you should be a pro about, is the way you treat the civilians,
which are your
customers.
Yep.
You treat them with the utmost respect, and when the product sucks, you suck it up and you say, you know what, my bad.
Yeah.
Even if it's not your bad, even if you're playing well, the person who gets the biggest props from me in the we'll just use the Jaguars locker room as Mr. Sassy Boy,
Jalen.
He at least kept it to the game.
Yeah. Yeah, he got kicked out of a game and just flat out said,
I'll do it again.
I do it again. Nobody's going to try me. I'll do it. If it happens 9 more times, I'll do it 9 more times.
And didn't say anything about the fans, kept it on the game.
I respect it. I respect it. It's just, you're right. It is an athlete issue all the way around. And you and I are the same way. We take up for the athletes 9 times out of 10. There is no taking up for this. Absolutely none. It's stupidity at its finest. It's like you just said, it's utmost of arrogance. And you know what, A-Rob, you're not having a good year. You dropped 3 passes this past week. I don't remember a good play that you've made other than a 10-yard gain that you went up and got. You've dropped 2 balls that were intercepted. So how about looking in the damn mirror, dude?
Here's the thing: is I talk tough a lot of times, and I don't mind backing it up. Keep talking tough, because one thing about a lot of these NFL cities, they ain't the cities.
No.
As you may mess around and find,
especially Duval.
Yeah, you may mess around and find it a little bit more hostile than you want. So if I were you, if I'm sucking, I just say, you know what, man, my bad.
I suck.
We suck.
I sucked, and
we need to play better.
The fans deserve better.
And that's all you got to say. Keep it at that, man. Because they won't boo if you're doing what you're supposed to do.
That's it. All right, moving along here. NBA starts tonight. Major League Baseball World Series start tonight.
That's what I'm talking about, man. At least somebody's going to have a streak busted.
The whole thing, look, this is a great time of year. I mean, this is the best time of year. You got football in full swing. Here in Jacksonville, we got Florida, Georgia this week. Florida State, Clemson. And then on top of that, you've got NBA starting and Major League Baseball World Series, which is when 80% of the people watch for the first time. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go home and watch it. I've been watching the last couple of weeks, but I'm going to go home and watch this. I'm excited to see it. The theater of it being Cubs, Indians, it's fun. Mm-hmm. It's fun. And it's a great matchup for most of the country because most people seen, what was it, the kid with the broken arm?
Rookie of the Year.
And
most
Major
people
League.
see Major League.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
There's how you know the Cubs and the Indians.
Would be nothing better if both of those guys
started game one. I don't know why they shut down Charlie Sheen. That would have been freaking awesome. Did you hear about that?
Wild Thing.
He wanted to run out the bullpen to Wild Thing.
They should have done that.
That would have been awesome.
It would have been awesome.
Yeah. I mean, look, dude's got the HIV, but I mean, he can still run, right?
Hey, man, he's positive. You gotta be positive. Listen, you can live through anything if Magic made it.
Yeah.
Magic getting stronger every year. Like, so I mean, Charlie's got to be all right.
Yeah, I don't know. Charlie doesn't seem like he's in as good a physical condition.
But that's because Charlie's also on coke.
Yeah.
Like, that's his medicine.
Yeah, he hadn't just been hitting ABC.
Yeah.
Spirits,
a little bit more than ABC.
No, ABC don't sell what he's been on.
He's been on way too many of the 4 C's. He ain't checking one of them. He ain't checked one of those C's good enough.
No, absolutely not. The cool thing, we're not going to break down baseball in here. That's just not going to happen. It's not what we do. But emotionally, are you pulling for one more than the other?
Yeah.
Because you don't care about either one, right?
No, but I want Cleveland to win.
Why?
Because Cleveland, I just like the story, the ESPN doc they did. It would be so good to see them do another edit to it, like they did for when LeBron and those guys won. It'd just be good for the city. Chicago, people like going to Chicago. I've never heard anybody say, you know what, let's go on vacation to Cleveland. Nobody
now you say that, I haven't either.
Nobody likes Cleveland. The only thing I liked about Cleveland was Bone Thugs and Harmony. and they haven't had a hit in decades. So I mean,
I didn't even know they were from Cleveland.
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. No, they sing about it in almost every song.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't understand what they're saying anyway.
Yeah, that's very fair enough.
Yeah.
But it would just be so cool. And then I have a buddy who works security management up there, and it just I told him I might go up there this time if they win the World Series. I might see if I can hop a flight because his office is right there where the parade route.
Yeah,
it's just to see if they'll.
I thought
shut
you
down
meant to
the
a
whole
game.
city
I'm like, did you see the prices?
No, he told me I asked. He told me
prices are absurd.
Just like I asked about the finals, he said stop. I ain't got that kind of pull.
Well, here's the thing: is I'm a Cardinals fan, so of course I want Cleveland to win. I mean, no brainer. But I will say this: it'd be interesting to see what the Cubs organization would turn into because people have bought into the Cubs all over the country being the lovable losers.
Right.
They've got one of the best fields, one of the best, stadiums, ballparks in the country. It's got a ton of history. It's just a cool place to go, and everybody talks about going there on Friday and drinking, and they've built the whole thing around them. What would happen if they won? Then they're not the lovable losers anymore. Now all of a sudden it's serious. Now all of a sudden, if you lose 80 games in a year, 90 games in a year, now you're pissed off. Now you're not just going there having a good time and having a beer at 10. You know what I mean?
I think they'll just be I think they'll have about 3 years grace of just being so grateful that it actually happened. Because it's been like, what?
It's been a minute.
A long
it's
time
been a minute.
for them.
Yeah, it's been a minute. But here's the thing about the Cubs is they better get ready because they're really young. All these guys are still in their first year deals. When it comes up, the Cubs going to be breaking records for payroll.
No, they won't. That'd be just like the Miami Marlins.
No, the Cubs are a big revenue team now.
Yeah, but I mean, Miami gets their guys. They'll win, and then they'll break it up, and then they'll go back to their farm.
But Miami always went and bought their guys. The Cubs drafted these guys. These guys came up through the Cubs system.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them's a Jacksonville guy.
Nice.
So Baez. So he Jacksonville through.
Is that the ACD
Cuba.
kid?
Yeah. Who I saw take batting practice in high school. Holy cow, it was crazy. But, I mean, these guys are going to be getting $20, $25, $30 million a year, James. And they've got like 5 of them. I mean.
It's good.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm pulling for Cleveland just because I don't like the Cubs. Although I will say I'm looking forward to seeing the atmosphere at Wrigley.
I think it's going to be great. I hope it goes 7 games. Isn't that what they do? Yeah, best of 7?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nothing. It'd be good for baseball.
Yeah, it would. So, at the same time, NBA starts tonight. How cool is that? That your defending champion Cavaliers are going to be getting their rings.
Yep.
Literally about 200 steps from where the first pitch of the World Series in Cleveland is going to be happening.
Nice.
That's pretty freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can take all the trash from both games and put it in Cleveland Brown Stadium, Paul Brown Stadium, or whatever.
You wouldn't even know the difference.
Wouldn't know. But for that city, that's pretty awesome. Especially as they're getting ready to go into a winter in this ugliest city in the winter, and everybody has to stay inside their igloos.
Yep.
So good for them. One last good night.
Because it's already 30 degrees in Cleveland. I don't know. I'm just assuming. It's cold here. It gets dark at 4 o'clock. It's just not a lot of good things that happen up north.
No, there's not. I'll stay right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had somebody ask me the other day, where would you move to for radio?
Miami. No, Fort Lauderdale. Maybe probably more so Tampa or Orlando.
That's what the two they asked me.
But you ain't getting me out of Florida. It's going to take big money to get me out of Florida. That's actually what I told him.
I said for enough cash, I'll go to Atlanta. I'll go to Dallas, Houston, New Orleans.
Right. I ain't going back to New Orleans.
Outside of that, I don't know. It would take ridiculous money. Especially
if you want me to go to New York. New York, you might, because it's going to take ridiculous money to live in New York.
Yeah, no.
So you're going to have to pay me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. So the NBA season starts. Here's my question to you. Do they even need to play the season?
No, we are. I'm going to tell you who's going to be there.
Cavs and Warriors.
Cavs and the Kingdom of Light Skin.
Yeah. I mean,
with their dark skin.
Is that good for basketball?
No, because here, actually, here's why I don't think. I'm 75% sure Golden State's going to be in the finals. The 25% that makes me skeptical is because they're too good. There's only one basketball, and I think in clutch time, who is going to take that shot? And you're going to find the personalities are going to start clashing.
But don't you think that Durant knew that when he went there? I mean, I don't know that I agree with you there, because I think that when Durant went, he knew there was only one ball and it was going to be tight. And I mean, you look at that lineup. If you don't have 5 cats on the other team that can play some really good defense, you're screwed, dude.
I think if Durant truly went to just win a championship, then I thought he was the alpha male I thought he was. He's not. And that means he doesn't have that dog in him, which I already have started thinking that.
Let me ask you this. I was thinking about this the other day. Somebody said that the other day, and here's where I went with it. Dan Marino.
Uh-huh.
What do you think Dan Marino's biggest regret is?
Not winning the ring.
What, wouldn't Dan Marino still be considered one of the best ever if later in his career he had gone somewhere and ring chased?
Oh, he would still be considered the greatest, but it would have tarnished what it was.
You think
for
even
Dan
now?
Marino. Yes.
See, I don't. I think now the Durant thing is a little different, because Durant still got some time in his career.
Mm-hmm. No, this is the better. Here's the better thing. Who did they lose to in that Super Bowl his rookie year?
Man, I don't know.
Okay, so anyways, let's say they had for 3/4 of a game.
Okay.
They were dominating, and they blew it in the 4th quarter, and then he left to go to that team that he had beat to go to next year. Yeah, it does. The thing about it's not so much. I'm not one of those guys. There is not an NBA championship team that doesn't have at least 2 to 3 Hall of Famers on that squad. You got to have good players to win. It doesn't matter who you were. People talk about Jordan, and guess what? Jordan was the alpha male on a loaded team. Horace Grant is a baller. Scottie Pippen's a baller. And then he had a whole bunch of other supporting guys that could take the shot. Hey, one thing we know about the Jordan teams is we know the white guy that can make the 3-point shot if he couldn't do it.
Yeah, they always had that guy.
John Stockton, Steve Kerr were just as good at making that.
Stockton wasn't there.
Not Stockton, my bad. Steve Kerr and
Kukoc.
It was another white guy that was just like that was. Anyways, and even B.J. Armstrong was a first round draft pick. I don't know why I said John Stockton. Oh, white guy plays defense, assists,
short
shoots
shorts.
3, short shorts. Same guy,
yeah.
stock guy. But when you think about Showtime LA, good GM put that team together. Lou Alcindor did not start off with LA. That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for people who don't know. And even the Chicago Bulls teams, good GM put that first team together. And actually the second team was really put together with some good veterans to help support Jordan. The bottom line, like what LeBron did, he just had to become his own GM, and KD essentially became his own GM as well. The thing that makes his different is the fact that had they really just made one extra play 3-4 times, they could have been in the finals just like they would have got blown out, but they could have been in the finals just like Golden State was. And it shows that Russell Westbrook really was that dog. I just think with what makes Steph Curry is his ability to get hot shooting. If he can't shoot, dude, I don't know if he can get hot.
But it's so
I don't
rare
know how
that
that
he's
goes.
not hot.
Except for in the finals when he wasn't shooting.
Well, yeah, but even if you looked at the playoffs before that, because he battled some injuries, stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't take him long to get heated. And here's the thing that I think will work with Golden State is they're so up tempo, they're so fast, they're going to have so many more possessions than the average NBA team, and so those guys will, to a certain extent, get their shot. I actually think the NBA is less now full of greedy players than it has been in a long time. I actually think that part of the fun of the NBA now is that all-star mentality of let me see what kind of pass I can make, let me do that kind of stuff. And if you think about it, the new dunk is the 3-pointer. How deep can I go on the 3-pointer? Right. And that's the new dunk. The dunk is it's not even fun anymore if it's not over somebody.
But I think no matter what level, it's almost like with football. You have the teams that can throw the ball, play yard ball, throw it all over. But what consistently wins you Super Bowls? Good defense, solid running game.
Mm-hmm.
Small ball will still win in the NBA with a player who can literally take over at any given moment. That's the reason why I still think as long as Cleveland's in the play, they ain't got to have the best record. They just got to get to the playoffs. Once they get to the playoffs, it's their finals to lose. Even when Golden State won the first one, and LeBron had anything, they would have won. They'd be two. They've won two NBA championships in a row.
Yeah,
it was LeBron and 5 guys from the YMCA, and 1 Russian that he got from the airport. That's what.
Hey, you play basketball?
Yeah. Hey, you're tall. You're 7 foot. Come over here with me. I got something for you to do this for a couple days over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's good for basketball. In my mind, it is. I like it. I don't know if it's good that there's 2 dominant teams for the average fan. But for me, there's 2 things I like. One is I like the brand of basketball they play, the style of basketball they play. I'm not all defense and, let's 5 passes and a shot. I don't care about any of that crap. Just put some points on the board.
Right.
All right.
That's what makes the NBA exciting is when you score points, people getting dunked on or making the 3 from half court.
Right. So I like the brand they play. I also like can one of these teams set a record for the wins that was just beaten last year at Golden State. I thought that was fun to watch at the end of the year is now you're seeing teams go all out trying to beat, the old school Celtics, the old school Lakers, the old school Pistons, all that kind of stuff. I think it's fun. It's really fun when it comes down to Game 7 of the finals.
Right.
That's when it's really, really fun. It's just going to take us a while to get there.
Can I just not hear from Aisha?
Well, no, you're going to hear from Aisha.
I just don't want to. After she said the NBA was rigged, I just don't want to. I don't want to hear from her no more. Go cook.
She was angry, dude.
I mean, you're pretty. Stand by your man, all that other stuff, but don't go light skin on us.
Yeah, she was angry.
She wasn't. Like my thing is the NBA wasn't set up when your husband and his team came back from 3 games down.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So, I mean, it's just you can't have it both ways.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I can't figure out why the NBA would have wanted Golden State to lose.
No,
that's where
right. Yeah,
that's where our argument kind of fell apart to me.
Mm-hmm.
Is if anything, they would have wanted Golden State to win since they had just beaten the win record and
It just made.
and it's a West Coast team.
Jordan's in the Illuminati. It was Michael Jordan.
Jordan said no.
Jordan said
No, hell no.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I mean that. Okay. Well, now you got me. All right. So let me get a little bit off of there and something that's close to you. How about that?
Oh.
Yeah. So there's this election coming up.
Okay.
We talked last time about how much we hate it when athletes endorse candidates.
Mm-hmm.
What about when retired coaches do it?
Man, it's just.
And again, we're not getting political here. We're not endorsing or talking bad about it. Here you go. I'll talk bad about them. They both suck.
Right.
Okay. There you go. There's our political analysis.
To me, it just like with the athletes, it doesn't benefit. I understand your argument. I understand why LeBron did it, but like you made a very good point. Ain't nobody not taking LeBron's phone call.
Right.
You spend your entire life building a legacy.
Should I tell people what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Well, you actually have multiple coaches that have done this. You have
But
the
I'm
one
talking
that's
about the one
close to
close
me.
to you.
You have Coach Bowden came out and he endorsed and he opened up for Donald Trump in Tampa.
Right.
Lou Holtz has come out and supported Donald Trump. I'm like, when people first happened, I got my phone blew up. I got all kind of inboxes in. I said, dude, he's an 86-year-old Southern white
I didn't
male.
know he was 86.
He's old. He's an 86-year-old Southern white male. Who in the hell did you think he was voting for?
He didn't need to tell you who.
I know who he's voting for.
Right.
Like,
and you didn't like him for his politics.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I'm trying to find the first person that he voted for. It was Democrat.
Right.
He's probably voted Republican, which I don't really care.
He's 86. There's some old school Democrats he may have.
Yeah, he might have. Yeah, probably. I mean, but the point is, I really don't care. What put me in this situation is why you didn't have to. But the more I think about it, and he's not an arrogant man.
No, the opposite.
But he does his FCA tour.
Yeah.
He doesn't do as much with the university. He tries to stay away. And the way that some of the things happen with the breakup from the university, I'm saying this, not saying he doesn't believe in his convictions or believe in Trump. I'm saying he had to get a check. There was some kind of incentive for him. He doesn't have he has money, but he didn't have now coaches get fired. They have $5 million that they got to get paid as severance. He didn't have that.
Oh, I don't think he's hurting, dude.
But he also had some bad business things that happened. One of his sons, had like a Ponzi scheme or something going on. So
that's right.
So I mean, he's not broke by any means. He's lived very frugal and done his thing, but at the same time, if somebody comes and offers you $15,000 to speak about a candidate that you were going to vote for, and you haven't really had the platform that you've always had, of course you're going to do it.
So you think? I mean, somebody that you're not saying that his vote was bought.
No. I think
he was probably already going down.
He was
that
already
road.
going to go down that road, and he feels that that's the person that he wants. Like, you can't. I told somebody, and people are like being real stupid about it. I don't care what you say. Excuse my French. Until that man comes out and says James Coleman's a nigger and I hate all black people and I hope you die, you'll never hear me. I cannot say that man's a racist.
No, he showed you something different.
Yeah, that man showed me a way of life in a game, and he taught me about manhood in a game from a guy who had no father.
Yeah,
he showed, and it wasn't just me.
Yep. Yeah.
And it wasn't just black kids. It was white kids, white redneck kids, black kids, country club kids. He took a lot. He showed us a different path. He did in football. He might have done more for racial reconciliation than a lot of people.
I think that you can say that about a lot of those old school coaches.
Yeah.
Who grew up at a time that they probably grew up in racist surroundings, because these are all deep South coaches.
He's from Alabama.
But they did what the rest of us have all done, which is adapt and you could say that about so many football coaches, that they've done more. And basketball coaches, they've done more for racial relations than any politician or anything like that. I mean, just putting a group of people into a locker room together back in the day,
from all kind of different backgrounds,
and saying, "Hey, y'all work it out." That's in a lot of ways the way we got to where we are now.
I always say, if the world were a locker room, it'd be a much better place.
Oh, there's no question.
You'd have a lot better. You have a lot more colorful language. Yeah, you laugh more. You get over things. You know why you got over things? Because you had to.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I might punch you in the mouth because of something that happened. But you know what? I'm going to see you every day. Either I'm going to fight you every day, and we're going to get tired of fighting each other, or we're going to, and then we're going to lose games, and neither one of us will be here.
Yep.
Or we're going to figure out how to get past this and do what we need to do.
And 9 times out of 10, the guy that you fought was the same guy on Saturday that had your back.
Exactly. It's just no different than brothers and sisters. Me and my sister used to fight like cats and dogs. Mm-hmm. You even blink an eye at my sister wrong, and I beat the shit out of you. Mm-hmm. Now I can do that to my sister. You can't do that to my sister.
No, absolutely.
Same thing. I can do that to my brother. I can talk about. I can call one of my teammates, John Frady. We argue back and forth sometimes on Facebook, but we have good dialogue. I can call Bobby John Frady a honky. Mm-hmm. You better not call Bobby John Frady a honky, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's stuff like that. But I think this election in general has shown the stupidity of the American public. And not because of who you're voting for. It's the fact that you can take something as frivolous as a vote, which is a coin flip at this point.
Yeah.
Every 4 years, it's a coin flip. I got news for you. Every year is a landslide is considered 46-42. Mm-hmm. But guess what? That's 4 points.
Yeah.
Most of the times, it's neck and neck. You can take somebody who's done everything. They fed your kids. You've gone to movies before. You've grown together, and you can change your whole perception of them based upon how they vote for somebody.
You know what's done it? Social media. And it's because we're in this situation where it's an all or nothing. Yep.
And nobody's a monolith, and everybody is more complex than what they seem. Now, on my social media page, it may seem like I bash Trump more than I do. If you go back, good thing about Facebook, now they have On This Day, you'll see for the entire 2015, you know what I did? Bash Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
The entire 2015. So my stance on her is what it is. Trump gives people a lot of ammunition, but I also understand Trump is an opportunist. He has made bad business decisions, but he has made some good ones. Actually, I think right now he is showing us the best business decision that he's ever made. In the fact that I think he's going to have a Trump TV network and write me enough money, write me a big enough check, I might be on that bad boy. I ain't going to sell out, but I'll be on it. There are some good things about Trump that I like. And there are a lot of things that I just can't stand. There are some good things about Clinton that I like, and there's a lot of things that I can't stand, nor can I forget. And that happens with every presidential candidate. Nobody's perfect. The person you're voting for, here's news. every one of your views and personal values, they do not check green on.
Oh, absolutely not.
So don't judge the person and call them an idiot or call them stupid just because they disagree with you. Guess what? I like Coke. If you like Pepsi, I think I thought you were going a different way with this. I think it might be something wrong with you in your brain, but we can coexist. Go drink your inferior brand of cola. That's your prerogative. That's your free. I don't want to give it. I want to know about it. Just don't give me any Pepsi.
Well, I'm with you 100%. I hate, especially as we're getting closer and closer and closer. I'm seeing a bunch of people just, if you ain't voting for Hillary, then F you. What?
Yeah, like
what, dude?
How can you? I'll sell out for you.
Yeah,
I know you.
Yeah, yep.
How can you? I mean, I want to. When you guys listen to the podcast, seriously, inboxes, tweet me. I'm definitely not a political thing. How can you sell out so much for somebody that you do not know,
don't have
and
a
that
clue.
has no personal, doesn't care about you?
Not a bit.
If you vote for them, great. If you don't vote for them, now I'll sell out for Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby probably don't remember me. Bobby probably think I'm William Floyd for all I know. But I know Bobby. For 4 years of my life, Bobby was an important part and still is. But I've had a personal relationship with Bobby.
Yep.
I don't have a personal relationship with any candidate. And guess what? I realized after this election, the sun is still going to shine. The world is still going to spin, at least for another few years, unless we go into a war. But bottom line is, I know life goes on.
But here's where I was going with that, though, James, is social media has changed the landscape. I'm 40 years old, and I love elections. Love it. Like election night, I'm going to be juiced. I love watching it. This one is so different because people are voting against someone and not for someone.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the whole thing. The social media aspects drive me crazy. And nobody else can see this. I'm just showing it to you. I've gotten about 4 or 5 of these in Facebook Messenger. Hey, are you voting for Donald Trump? Hey, are you voting for Hillary Clinton? It ain't none of your damn business. If I wanted to tell you, I would. And that's what I say the same thing. I don't disclose who I'm voting for unless I personally believe in them.
It goes back to, and even if you don't, it goes back to the day, like Killing Them Softly, one of my favorite comedy specials. It's so many things between police brutality, between elections, so many things that should happen, or so many things that shows us how different we were or how we still are. It used to be a time where people would not even discuss who they were really voting for when it came to that.
And part of the reason they didn't have the platform. And here's the other thing, America. I got bad news for you. If you think these two candidates are just awful, which, okay, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what you also need to realize is if you're 60 years old, you've been voting for awful candidates your whole life. There just wasn't an internet to tell you and 24-hour news to tell you how awful they are.
Exactly.
You think about what's come out of this and what's been exposed. You're talking about, things like emails that didn't exist when a lot of the candidates that you voted for had.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're talking about video from years ago. Nobody documented that crap back in the day.
Right.
You're talking about tweets and stuff like that, and easy for people to make accusations and easy to find stuff out. This shit's been happening forever, James. It just
like for perfect example, we found out that Lyndon B. Johnson was an asshole.
Yeah,
because they secretly had the White House taped, and you also found out he was hung like a horse, and he used to have challenges to people to make them show it, and he hated black people. Like the guy who signed the Civil Rights Act, hated black people.
Yeah,
you found out. Obviously, we know what Nixon was. Reagan literally had almost everybody in his cabinet indicted to start because of and Reagan's who we consider a saint. W did his thing. There's no such thing.
Dare I say this? Is W the one the last 25 years who you look at and go, dude was real? I mean, not to get political on this.
W might be president because I know exactly where W stood.
Is there anything that's come out on that dude since he left?
When the little kid was reading him the book, his favorite book, and they told him that what happened with 9/11, and he had to stop and say, "Could you please read the story to me later, ma'am?" It was getting good. I realized that I was like, we got a wartime consigliere here. This dude was ready. But and the thing is, what we'll realize too is that Obama's not bad. He's not the greatest. Okay, there's stuff you don't like. I get it.
The greatest,
but none of them are as bad or as good as we like to bash him for. People made me like Obama more because they kept jumping all on him. Before I was like, I don't know about this guy. A black guy with no baby mama, no ex, not even an ex-girlfriend. I hate him. Where did they find? Here's the thing: when James Coleman runs for president, oh, you're gonna be like, ain't no way we're gonna let this N-word win.
Yeah,
this dude got all kinds of baggage. And I'm gonna point and say, when we gave you the perfect Negro, you guys called him everything in his possible. They created this is the Manchurian candidate, and you guys hated him.
You know what's funny about Obama?
What is that?
This dude's approval ratings were terrible, and then all of a sudden, America went, wait a second. We got these two running for president, and his approval ratings.
We done become a political show now all of a sudden. But be real with yourself. Faced with Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton,
he'd win a third
vote
term.
Satan. You'd vote Lucifer. You'd be like, yep, that Lucifer. I know exactly where he stands. He seems to be a good guy. He was in the Bible.
We should have a political show.
Oh man, it'd be
funny,
crazy, but
nobody would listen.
The bottom line is actually sports is a microcosm of society.
Yep.
Athletes go off and start telling people that what they should do when they have no right to do things. And guess what? We as media people and we as just civilians go around talking about shit that we have no clue about and telling people that they're dumb because they don't believe in our stupidity.
And after we had that conversation last time, I kind of came to the realization of this. If you're someone who is swayed by an athlete's endorsement or coach's endorsement or anything like that, then you probably do need the help. You're not capable of making decisions on your own. I don't care. I'm trying to think of my favorite athlete right now, and I don't even know who it is. Now that we're in this, I don't even know who it is. Really have no idea. Drew Brees, probably my favorite athlete right now. Who Drew Brees is voting for, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It has zero bearing on what I think about Drew Brees, what I think about my vote, or anything in my life. Zero. If there's some dude in Louisiana living back on a bayou feeding an alligator and eating pythons for dinner, and he hears, oh, Drew Brees voting for whoever, and that's what makes him vote, then you know what? Good for you. At least you went and voted.
Like when I heard Bobby say it, I was like, you know what? This Bobby's right. Don't agree with it. I was just sitting there. By golly, it just clicked on me. I have to vote for Trump because my old coach told me. I don't got to do a damn thing that Coach Bowden tells me to do anymore.
Yeah.
That stopped about over a decade ago. There's still not like to anybody listening, whoever you vote for, there's nothing that your vote can do to make me think less of you. Now, how you respond to things
exactly
and come out now that may change my opinion of you, but who you vote for, I could care less.
Yeah. I don't care if you want to campaign for somebody on Facebook, but when you start calling the other side, not the other candidate, but people who are voting for that candidate names,
mm-hmm.
You know what? That's when you need to reevaluate yourself.
Or just get a life.
Yeah.
Listen to our podcast. Again, sportsdenlive.com.
Oh,
we got a
got
a website that gets you to all of our social media, all the podcasts that you're listening to currently right now, all the old shows. Guys, listen, we have a good event going on here in Jacksonville. So no matter where you're listening, you can still get a chance to be involved with this. Alan Hearns, one of the few bright spots on a really bad team here in the Jacksonville Jaguars, has a nonprofit called 88 Blessings. 88 Blessings is doing a winter wonderland where he and his mother are taking 88 families, and he is going to help those 88 single moms, and they're going to help those single moms bring Christmas to their children. These women are going through classes that are going to help them become better parents, and they are earning the cash that they're coming. And the
gifts are coming
from the mom based upon the extracurricular things that they were able to do. Please go to the website. Please stay tuned to social media. We believe in the 3 T's: time, talent, and treasure. If you want to just come and support, figure out how you can volunteer, please let us know. Treasure is definitely. Can we go ahead and say what the budget is?
Sure.
We're looking to raise $15,000 for this event to happen on December 16th, and we believe it's going to be more. They only asked for $15,000, We've got 1,500 and 100 or more different type of denominations that you can get. And yes, if you give the 1,000, we're going to make sure you get something for that.
Yep.
Maybe
you shouldn't even need anything.
You shouldn't even need anything, but we'll make sure Alan gets you a Christmas card or something. We haven't put all that together yet, but it's a great cause. We don't want the money. It doesn't come to us. It's actually going. You're going to write it out to 88 Blessings.
Yep.
And it's going to them, and we're going to make sure we're going to continue to update people, tell you about it. It'll be on sportsdenlive.com, and if you can share it, that'll help us with your talent. And then, obviously, like I said, your treasure.
And these podcasts should be on iTunes this week.
Yep.
As well. So subscribe to those, get the automatic downloads or whatever it is that you can do on iTunes, SoundCloud, all that kind of stuff. Help us get the word out, and we promise we'll be a little more consistent. We're working on some stuff.
Yeah, we're working on some stuff.
We're working on some stuff here. So, listen, as always, thanks for listening. Have a great, we'll see you again in a couple of days.
Yeah.
So have a great couple of days. Enjoy the World Series. Enjoy opening night of the NBA season tonight. We got to get one done soon before Florida, Georgia, because I will be emotionally unavailable come about Thursday afternoon.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, if you know what I mean. Yep. All right, y'all take care. Have a good one.
Ever.